Hey everyone, it's the new year, and it's about time I do another Shrimp update. Shrimp is now in the 1.1.2 phase, and the first one in this phase is the Relinquish update, which this update brings many new things, such as a peaceful mode, UI changes, more death screens, level difficulties, and just many more things. I want to first talk about the new difficulty that the update is based on. Shrimp now has a new difficulty called Relinquish. It's basically playing the game on peaceful mode where entities do not spawn. The anxiety meter has been taken away as there is no use of it on this difficulty. Relinquish mode is great for people who want to play the levels without needing to encounter any entity. The downside of playing on this difficulty is less coins will spawn, cosmetics will not spawn, and you will not be able to see any secrets. I remember some people wanting to play this game, but they were just basically too scared of coming across false car or porcelain ghost, which makes sense because I'm scared of them too. I'm very terrified of them. But this difficulty is great, so for those who are scared of them, they can play the game on Relinquish mode. Y'all can play it on peaceful mode, and y'all can just enjoy the atmosphere of the game without having the entities going around and trying to just kill you in some way. Level difficulty. Not only is there game difficulty, there is now level difficulty. There's only two for now. There's casual and endurance. Endurance is a default Shrimp experience, while the casual is there to make the game easier to play for those that either just don't have time to learn Shrimp's mechanics or just want to take it easy playing a level. Like if you're playing a level and you just have a hard time with it, it's just switch it to the casual level difficulty and you'll be able to complete it just fine. And what's cool on this difficulty is when you have the casual level difficulty, less cars will spawn, so it's just easier to find the cars. And if you do have the Relinquish mode on, even less cars will spawn because that effect does stack with those two on. So the downside of having the casual level difficulty is secrets will not spawn. Cosmetics can spawn through chance, but if you have Relinquish on, then secrets just won't spawn at all. For the UI, I overhauled the UI screen for analyzing objects, asking sobriquet questions, the chromatic splitter, the stereo menu, and the difficulty selection screen too. These new screens look so much more cleaner than the previous and just more fitting for the game. I did want to change the index menu too. I just couldn't find the time to do that in this update. If you want to switch to the classic classic for the stereo or the difficulty select screen, you can buy these buttons here. At least the stereo screen, it could be a little hard to see, but I'm just trying to point it out in this video so it just makes it easier for you to see how things were before. So if you're someone who likes the classic version and you want to keep it that way, you can. Because I'm trying to do my best to preserve, the classic way of Shrimp, but also just add things on top. So yeah, I'm just glad I added a way to just toggle the screens rather than just putting it in the preferences menu. Model changes. I've changed the models for the music discs to indicate the different music periods in the game. Right now there's only two, which this one is the classic tracks, also known as the AMA period. There's the glass period disc as well. There is a secret one that looks like this hidden in the game, so just good luck finding them. Right now there is only one you can find. I will make a separate video talking about this because these specific music discs are very special to me and are more of an Easter egg than anything. I mean, I guess technically it can be canon, but I don't think that matters. It's just I'm just gonna consider it canon. But yeah, it's really cool that I just wanted to add in a secret album into the game. And the last thing that's been changed is the gondola. So the gondola's model has been revamped. I decided to overhaul the model to a new one since I thought the old one was just like, I don't know, it was like way too basic looking, and it used world materials and unique textures. So I just tried to come up with some sort of other design that still instantiated the original, but also kind of made it more like a biblically accurate gondola, I guess. But yeah, I love this design. It's just super cool, and it's like ominous. I love it. For Sobriquet, you can ask him about music now. I thought it'd be nice to update his questions in the game and add new ones. Newer ones will be coming soon about the upcoming event called a Canyon Fever event. I'm stoked to release that one and finish it, but I'll just talk more about that at the end of the video. But yeah, you can ask him more questions now. The animations on Shrimp have been updated and are more detailed. His walking animations have been changed. I added new double jump animations, so there's like variants of it. So instead of seeing the flip all the time, and you'll now see like a barrel roll, this normal one. I love this one because it's actually it's called a 360 no scope torque jump. Bruh. What the hell? Holy shit. I know it's really stupid. But yeah, it's a torque spin jump. Honestly, that's like probably the best animation I've ever done. It's so stupid. But yeah, there's different hardland animations too. And there's even an animation whenever like you're dragging the ice cube. I was like, you know what? That'd be so sick if there was like an animation to where like the shrimp goes close to it, hurls against it, and like starts using its body to drag it. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, there's that. And then adding to this topic, there's now a drowning animation. So when you're in either water or apple acid, there's like an animation of it going down. If you have too much anxiety, that triggers a panic attack animation, and it'll lead to the shrimp's death. And then, well, to the next topic, it's gonna show a new death screen, which is cool. There's new death screens now. For the longest time, there was only a few death screens, and the death screens had the same sounds as well. So I wanted to change that. So now you'll find different death screens in this update, along with like these different sounds that will play. So each death screen has a unique sound to it. Sorry about that. Like there's a death screen for falling or drowning in water or acid or death by anxiety. So if you're playing like on center and if you like fall down, there's a death animation for it now. So instead of it showing like PG all the time, now it just shows something else. And it's just really cool to me. And I'm glad there's like different sounds too. So that default death screen sound, that is now attributed to the Porcelain Ghost death screen. And a further note to add to this, if you do die by Porcelain Ghost, there's a chance the Good Night song, like whenever Porcelain Ghost is chasing you in that good night, and then like that song plays, that's like super, that just gives you so much anxiety. That song, there is a full version of it. I just had no idea where to place it, where to put it. So it's in the death screen now. So there's a chance when you die by Porcelain Ghost, that Good Night song will play. It's a full version, and it's called Apparition's Lullaby. So it's pretty creepy. New cars. There's new cars in the game. There's 5 new cars that have been added to the roster that you can collect. I just love adding cars. Like I just love designing cars and then putting it into the game. There's just so much to explore when it comes to the lore of these cars. And it does take a while to add in cars because I have to come up with like the lore for it, and then just design the car, have a design for it. And then there's just a lot of variables as well when it comes to adding in a car, like adding it to the analyzation, adding it to the index, whatever. So that's why it takes a bit of time to add cars. But with each update, I do want to add like more and more cars. Just, you know, for if you're a car collecting enthusiast in Shrimp, there you go. There's more cars for you. But yeah, there's 5 of them that are in this update. This one is surprising to me, like that I added this. There is a because I wasn't planning to add this in, but I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna add it in because it'd be so cool. The game has a new intro. It's the studio intro. So there's a game intro, and now there's a studio intro. So when the game starts up, you'll see this like studio intro, and it's very simple and minimalistic. You can toggle this off in the settings in case you just don't want to see it. But I just added this in because I thought it was like really cool to see my logo in the game. So every time you do boot up the intro screen, there's like this different sound that will play. And there's a reason for it, but I don't want to say it right now. I don't want to bleed a certain reservoir, so I'm not going to say it. But that's all I want to say in this little segment, is that there is a new spanking intro for the game. Instead of hearing the same footstep sounds over and over, I thought it'd be really cool. This system wasn't needed. It's not necessary, but I just wanted to do it for more detail and more immersion. So now there's a whole footstep system that I created. So you'll hear like different sounds depending on the surface that you're on. It's not like perfect, but it's a system that's working right now. And I do plan to add more to it to the future, because in the future, there's going to be like updates I want to do where there's just so many different surfaces you're going to be walking on. And just having this system just feels important to me. Just like I said, this system is just here for immersion. And if you just don't like the new footstep sounds, you can also just go on the preferences and just click on the classic one just to have it how it was before. The various stuff to talk about that's in this update. The apple acid texture has been revamped to this like sludge that just moves around, and it's like super aggressive looking. Like it just looks dangerous. I mainly did this because, well, the Canyon Fever update that I planned for was supposed to have that different apple acid. I mainly updated the apple acid for that update, but that will be the next big one. So just don't worry, that one's going to be coming by. There's also 2 new ghost tracks that will play. I did want to add 5, but I just didn't have time to add 5. So I just decided to add in a couple of new ghost tracks to the roster. False Car has a new stereo model. So instead of like him pulling out a corrupted version of the one that you have, you'll see him have a different model completely. Sobriquet also has a new stereo too. You can toggle the music in his place with that stereo. So once you locate it, you can click on it, and then like his music will either play or just stop. So if you just go to his place and you're just tired of hearing that song over and over, you can now just completely cut it off, which is cool. Furthermore, you can customize the shrimp on the menu screen by hovering over the shrimp, and you can even toggle the menu music by clicking on the stereo. And lastly, the game actually loads faster than before. I'm not sure what I did to do that, but I guess I did a lot of optimization in the background, and the ultimatum of it is it actually just created the game to just load faster. And it's nice. It's nice of a change, because I was afraid like adding in so much content where the game just takes forever and ever to load. But now it just loads a lot more faster. So that's really, really good. To wrap it up, let's wrap it up with the final topic, which is the next update of Shrimp. It's called the Canyon Fever update. So the story about this update is back in April of 2023, I started working on the next massive update, which was the Canyon Fever one. It features 3 new entities, a new equipment to use, new music, and a whole region to explore. I decided to stop that update around early December because I just realized how much time I was taking and how little like time I had for this project. Like no matter how much time management that I've done, it's just my time is so thin when it comes to developing the Canyon Fever update. So that's why I stopped it in early December, because just how much time it was taking. I really wanted to put something out, so I just paused Canyon Fever and did the next one after that, which this one was like, I planned the next 3 updates for Shrimp, which was Canyon Fever, Relinquish, and then this other one. But because the time it was taking on Canyon Fever, I decided to switch places and swap it. So I decided to do the Relinquish update, which took a lot less time for me to do. And I'm just glad I made this decision because, like I said, I was able to put this one out faster than doing the Canyon Fever, which I probably won't be done with Canyon Fever until like April. I mean, I hope that's not the case. I'm just hoping I can speed things up for this year. That's like my goal, speed things up and try to turn this hobby into like a career. I know I'm kind of going off topic. But yeah, the next big update is Canyon Fever, and I'm just hoping I can get it out by this year. So yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I know it's a whole big update. There's just a lot that's in it. But yeah, I guess I'll just see y'all in the next video. And I just hope y'all have a really nice New Year's, and hopefully this year goes good for all of us. All right, peace out.